She calls her late sister every single day. She thought all those messages were just piling up in voicemail, but she had no idea that uncanceled number was now being used by a total stranger.
Where the... and whose dick do I have to suck to get a breakfast taco around here? I love you, brother. You are such a bitch for leaving before I could tell you that.
So let's dive into this freshly released film, Voicemails for Isabel. Jill and Isabel's bond went way beyond your typical sisterly love, since Isabel was born with cystic fibrosis, an invisible lock clamped tight around the girl's lungs. That meant she was stuck inside all day, and in Jill's memories, her sister's childhood wasn't spent running through grass, but trapped in rooms reeking of medicine. Since Isabel couldn't go to school like normal kids, the kitchen became their only playground where Jill would run wild science experiments, sometimes whipping up concoctions so bad they left Isabel violently sick. But there was one dessert, a tart, that Isabel thought was Jill's masterpiece, and over time it became their own secret code. Meanwhile, Jill's outgoing personality made her a force at school, and if anyone dared call Isabel frail, she'd step right up to defend her sister.
Begged me to suck face. Classy.
Sorry, Jill, but I'm not gonna be your boyfriend.
Don't flatter yourself, Colin Corwin. I regretted you the second your sweaty slug lips touched mine.
Hey, Jill, does your sister taste like beef jerky too? Or just cancer?
I'm just gonna dance on.
You're gonna be...
As they got older, Isabel's condition took a turn for the worse until her only option was living full-time in the hospital. Yet Jill stayed connected to her constantly. She shared every tiny detail of her life with Isabel, especially whenever she heard a song they both loved. She'd call her sister without hesitation.
But still so near.
But fate doesn't play fair, and last November, during an autumn filled with hope for a transplant, 20-something Isabel simply couldn't hold on anymore. Nah. By the time Jill got the news and rushed to the hospital, her sister had already slipped away from this world.
Where is she?
At the funeral, Jill poured out her heart about their bond, showing everyone just how deeply she loved Isabel, and sometime later, trying to heal, she moved alone to San Francisco, though she still couldn't stop sharing life's little moments with her sister. Because that was her only link to another soul, as she ranted about failing as a prep cook, or that Michelin star chef who humiliated her publicly just for seeding kumquats wrong. She talked about her baking dreams that never seemed to pan out, and the heartbreaking fog that hangs over San Francisco all year round. It's not that she didn't know her sister was gone, she just refused to let go of that connection. But what Jill didn't realize was that Isabel's old number had been recycled by the carrier and reassigned to a guy named Wes. Wes is a commercial real estate broker who looks sharp and knows how to work the high-stakes game, but he's pretty clueless when it comes to romance, earning terrible reviews from his ex-girlfriends.
You don't know how to love.
That's... No, I don't think that... Britt, listen, hey, stop. I'm sorry, I can't claim to understand all the ways that my trauma has affected me, but I know that I'm genuinely sorry.
On the surface, Wes has it all, but inside he's as empty as a deserted island. He shields himself with polished lies and deliberate distance, likely stemming from the childhood trauma of losing his mom and watching his family fall apart. At first, when Jill's voicemails started flooding his new work phone one after another, Wes just found it annoying. He planned to complain or cancel the line, but during a dull moment at work, he clicked on a message almost by accident.
Izzy? You're not gonna believe this. It was some Notting Hill frickin' Bridget Jones shit. Please get ready. You know what he was? He was British from foggy London town. Actually, I don't really know if he was from London, but I'm gonna pause so that you can finish masturbating.
From that day on, listening to Jill's voicemails became Wes's most secret obsession. He'd listen to this stranger rambling away on rainy nights in San Francisco. And Jill's own love life was hitting plenty of rough patches too. She met a podcaster named Tyler, a smooth-talking guy with muscles to match, and since Jill was desperate for companionship, she fell for him fast. They almost crossed a physical line, but she stopped herself because she'd promised her sister she'd swear off men before taking things further.
Hello, Izzy. I would like to tell you something
that it was very, 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 very close, but I kept it in my pants because my body is a sacred temple and my vagina is a secret garden. I am Jillathine Shaw, resistor of desires of the flesh, almighty tamer of sexual demons. I am Jill.
I left my word.
No, Jill, no! God, lock your door, Jill! You don't lock your door?
I promise I...
A few days later, Tyler completely ghosted her, and when she tuned into his show, the truth hit her like a ton of bricks.
Save yourself the heartache. If he's not texting you, he doesn't want to talk.
Right then, Wes was scrolling through Jill's social media, starting to feel drawn to this woman he'd never even met. In the next day's message, Wes picked up on Jill's disappointment and sensed just how lonely she really was.
Never. I'm never gonna make Baker because, I boned the competition and now he's out to destroy my life, which rocks. So yeah. We were supposed to die together. We made a deal. Like Noah and Allie in the Notebook. If you're a bird, I'm a bird, you whore. Wish I knew how to quit you. Okay, I'll stop. You're in a better place. Probably slurping face with Heath Ledger as we speak, huh? This party sucks without you. But I miss you, my lad. Every minute of every single day.
That's when Wes realized all those voicemails were actually meant for her late sister. Wes told his cousin Andy and Andy's fiancée Brita about it, and while Wes wanted to tell Jill the truth, Brita advised against it, saying this was how Jill was coping. As Wes learned more about Jill, finding the words to explain himself got harder and harder. Since he'd heard Jill's plan to get back at that jerk podcaster Tyler, he started keeping tabs on him too. So Jill's most private fantasies were pouring straight into a stranger's ears, and slowly, Wes began to study and understand her. He knew her better than anyone actually in her life, but he also knew this intimacy was stolen. He flew to San Francisco with that phone full of secrets, orchestrating what looked like a fated encounter. When Jill showed up to crash Tyler's live stream, Wes hid in the crowd posing as a fan, watching her rock black sunglasses and tear the guy apart in front of everyone. In that moment, he was beaming brighter than anyone else in the audience.
Hey, Tyler! I'm a huge fan. My favorite episode is the one about dating with accountability. Yeah, it's a good one, right? But I had a quick question about that. Accountability. That's only expected of us lovelorn, pathetic, desperate ladies, correct? Fellas get a free pass to say, I don't know, like, hypothetically speaking, talk about bringing you home to England, get you naked, vanish out of thin air without even a text saying I'm alive. But no, thank you.
This pod is designed for women to navigate the perils of the dating world.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks to you, Tyler, I've come face to face with the perils of the dating world. Here's my little bit of proactive dating advice to you ladies. If it looks like a duck, and it swims like a duck, it's probably just a bargain bin Hugh Grant fuckboy with a podcast.
He knew Jill liked sitting on a bench atop a San Francisco hill at dusk, eating a sandwich. He knew she harbored this silly romantic fantasy of a man sweeping in, just like in the movies. Wes casually sat down beside her, their eyes locked, and in that instant, they fell in love. So this man who had no idea how to love landed precisely next to Jill. The very first words out of his mouth perfectly matched that silly fantasy Jill had described in her voicemails. But Jill kept her guard up at first. She'd just sworn off men and was about to leave when Wes asked a question that struck right at her core.
Do you think you could just point me in the direction of some breakfast tacos?
Jill couldn't believe this guy seemed to walk right out of her dreams, sharing an uncanny amount of common ground with her. When a hunter comes prepared with a carefully laid trap, his prey never stands a chance of escaping. From music taste to food quirks, from complaining about the city to feeling lost about the future, everything felt impossibly aligned. So he used his tourist excuse to ask her to explore San Francisco with him, wrapping it up with a heartfelt touch that finally lowered her defenses.
As fellow Texas expats, I feel obligated to tell you that I am girl sober, so I will not make out with you. Even if you beg me, I won't do it. Scout's honor.
Over the next 2 weeks, they watched the sea at the pier and hit trendy restaurants, and when Jill felt down after getting pushed out by coworkers, Wes grabbed the mic on a tour bus, ignoring the driver's glare to announce to everyone that Jill was a genius chef, and in just 2 weeks, she was completely hooked. She convinced herself her sister Isabel must be watching from above, sending this perfect man because she couldn't bear to see Jill lonely anymore. On his last night in town, Jill invited Wes over for dinner, and just as the mood hit the sweet spot and they were about to take things further, Wes suddenly hit the brakes. He bolted to the bathroom, trying to psych himself up to finally confess why he was really there and tell her about the voicemails. But his mouth felt glued shut, and he had no idea how to start. Later, while watching TV, Wes took a deep breath and tried to slip the truth in like it was no big deal.
Jill, I've been getting your voicemails.
I could be your friend, but I'm unprepared, I've never.
But lies are like bubbles blown too big. The brighter the sun shines, the closer they are to popping. With his cousin's wedding coming up, Wes headed back home and invited Jill to join him, and she happily said yes. They were both wrapped up in this bubble of romance and happiness, secretly wishing they could have a wedding like that someday. But all that sweetness turned sour at the reception when Wes draped his jacket over Jill's shoulders because she gets cold easily. When Wes stood up to refill her drink, she pulled out her phone to call her sister, and right then, the phone inside Wes's jacket started buzzing. In that second, Jill didn't feel understood. She felt violated, furious, and terrified. Her most private grief, spilled into a voicemail, had been twisted into some stranger's dating playbook. She realized this entire relationship was built on a cruel invasion of privacy.
Wes, what did you hear? My bench? You knew that I was gonna be at my bench? You knew about Jose's? You knew about fantasy? You knew sister? You knew everything?
I was gonna tell you.
Take this.
I promise. I know how much you loved Isabel.
No,
and
you do not! You wouldn't know anything about that.
And then came the final blow when a system update wiped every single message Isabel had ever left her in an instant. All those voices she relied on, her last tether to her sister, just gone. Jill spiraled into a despair deeper than anything she'd felt before, convinced Isabel was truly gone for good. Meanwhile, Wes stared at his empty phone back home, drowning in a pain he'd never known, finally realizing that loving someone isn't about possessing their grief, but giving them the space to face it. For a while after that, Jill celebrated her birthday alone, usually listening to her sister's voice, but this time, there was nothing but silence. That night, her parents traveled miles to her apartment to comfort their broken-hearted daughter, bringing a gift, a sign the sisters had made as kids. They also gave Jill the college fund originally meant for her sister, and seeing her struggling with both love and career, her mom urged her to use the money to build something for herself. With help from her parents and former coworkers, Jill launched her own business, rolling out a food truck that was all hers. As for Wes, he sank into a funk, completely drained, until Brita tracked him down and filled him in on how Jill was doing.
I hope she got her voicemails back. She posted about losing all of her voicemails from Isabel. It was a while ago. She was asking if anyone knew how to recover them.
Wes owned a rare Black Lotus card worth a fortune, bought with his entire childhood savings, and without hesitating, he handed it over to a hacker friend. He had just one request: recover the voicemails the system had erased from Jill's phone. A few days later, Jill got a voicemail from an unknown number. It was Wes. Wes gave Jill back her own voice.
Sorry, that sounded better in my head. I don't even know if you're in town. I was thinking of ringing in the new year at Jose's. You know, who needs a midnight kiss when you can smash a taco, am I right?
No longer trying to replace anyone or manipulate his way into her heart, Jill didn't reply to his message, but his cousin and Brita insisted that no matter what, he had to keep his word and head straight to that restaurant. Right then, dozens of voicemails suddenly popped up on Jill's phone. Her sister's messages were back. Sifting through the chatter, she stumbled upon a delayed message Isabel had secretly recorded before she passed. On New Year's Eve in Austin, amidst bright lights and fireworks, Wes ran blocks just to find Jill waiting at the restaurant right before closing. This time,
I love you. In a very uncool, desperate, all-consuming kind of way, but it wasn't from the moment that I saw you. It was before then, and I'm scared. You make me feel brave.
Jill didn't push him away. In the end, they both left a message for Isabel, and Jill's voice wasn't heavy anymore. It carried a lightness she hadn't felt in ages. As music drifted across the plaza, it turned out to be the exact song the sisters loved most.
Oh my God, is there a song? It's Robin! It's Robin!
I love you, Isabel.
While this movie spins a tale of eavesdropping leading to love, it's really tackling something incredibly heavy. When you lose the person you love most, choosing to move past the pain and stop crying isn't betraying their memory. It's quite the opposite. The people we lose wouldn't want us stuck forever in grief or frozen in the past. They'd want us to carry their love forward, see new sights, meet new people, and live fully because of that love. If that phone call in your heart hasn't ended yet, take your time, because one day you'll be ready to say goodbye to that voice, just like Jill did.